Hey guys, RanterInShades here, exercising my first to memorize vlog style. And as you can tell by the hat, it's Christmas time. Just about. When I think of Christmas, I think of people, young and old, all gathering with their families in front of their tree by the fire and exchanging gifts. And I hope you guys all have that this Christmas. I, however, have never had such a Christmas before. This video is going to be in the same vein as the video I made about my religious views, in the sense that it's one of my more personal videos, which is something I don't do very often on this channel. Now, I know by the title of this video already, you guys have some pretty confused looks on your faces. I getcha. I will say right now that this isn't exactly a rant on the holiday itself, but rather what I go through every Christmas that contributes to why I dislike it so much. I'm sure my viewers and subscribers out there that celebrate Christmas are no strangers to the fact that not everybody has a particularly Merry Christmas. I'm no stranger to the fact that I'm not the only person that doesn't have the Christmas that everybody else has. I'm not like, oh, everybody has a Merry Christmas but me. I'm not that much of a sourpuss. But it does suck knowing the majority of your friends are all having the holiday you never had growing up, seeing it glamorized on TV and in music and other forms of media. It's like sitting by yourself at the lunch table at school. Am I jealous? I used to be, but I really don't give that much of a shit these days. But yeah, every Christmas for me has been shitty, and sometimes I do have to feel some sort of resentment towards my friends that have the holiday you never experienced. But even leaving that aside, there's so much I'd rather be doing than what I'm about to describe to you. I'd rather live up to the Jewish stereotype and just go to the movies and eat pizza. But what my family does is much lamer than that. It makes going to the movies seem like a trip to the beach in comparison to what I'm about to say. Let me give you some backstory. You'll remember in my video on my religious views that I said I was raised Jewish. You might also remember in that video that I said that my mom converted from Christianity to Judaism when she married my dad. But this isn't even a religious differences sort of thing where I'm bitching about not wanting to do a Christian thing when I've never been Christian. This really has nothing to do with religion at all. Now what we do on Christmas, you could say, is to preserve my mom's upbringing, I suppose. But what we do on Christmas is we go over to my aunt's house, which is a couple towns over from us, and exchange gifts. That's the gist of it, and you'd think that on principle is pretty harmless, and you're saying, Shades, what are you complaining about? You're getting gifts and you're giving to others. What's the problem here? Like I said, this isn't exactly a rant about Christmas itself. I get that the main themes of Christmas include family, togetherness, and giving to others. I get that. But let me expand if I may. These people on my mom's side of the family, my aunt, her husband, their two kids who are about 8 to 10 years older than me, just about. One of them is married. My mom's aging, entering Alzheimer's parents, and my Dwight Schrute look-alike uncle are some of the most awkward and boring people I've ever known. I know they're family, and I have this obligation to respect them as such, but goddamn, it's really awkward being around them, sitting in silence. Every conversation between us is completely forced. On their end, too. Don't think it's just me being an asshole. None of us have anything to say to each other. It's like we speak different languages. Usually, the only things they say to me are stuff along the lines of, Michael, how's college? Michael, how's your music going? Just these generic questions that are very forced on their part. What's more, this is pretty much the only time all year I see these people. You know why that is? Because they never take it upon themselves to come out for me or my brother. They're practically non-existent. And these are the people I see every Christmas, basically because my mom doesn't want them to feel forgotten or whatever. But still, putting up with this and not really getting anything in return from them doesn't really suit well with me. Another thing about them is that they really don't know much about me or my brother. Like I said, there's really not much worth talking about with them. But this also reflects well in the few gifts I get from them. And I'm not trying to sound ungrateful or anything, but with the gifts I get from these people, you can really tell they didn't think of the stuff on their own, and that they more than likely asked my mom, hey, what's Michael into these days? It's really cheap. I mean, iTunes cars are cool and all, but they get a bit repetitive. From 10 to about 2 on Christmas, and I'll get to why that is later, these are the people I'm with. and this is what is considered tradition. This is one of those things where I just say, fuck tradition. Here's some other things that make Christmas at that house so shitty for me. It is cold as fuck in that house. They don't have any heating or air conditioning at all. They like to keep their house at a natural temperature because they're hippies like that, so we always have to wear multiple layers. There's also no cable TV and very limited Wi-Fi, though, so there's really not much to do there at all. Usually what my brother and I do is just lay on the couch listening to music and making the best use of the Wi-Fi we can. Because what else is there to do? We also go outside to the car, turn the heat on, and call my uncle and talk to him for a while. It's a great escape. But the worst part about Christmas there, and this is what we always aim to avoid, is dinner. You know how I said we're usually only there till about 2? Every Christmas break, after the complete and utter boredom, we go down to Florida to visit my grandparents for the remainder of December. We like to schedule our flight on Christmas Day to get out of having dinner at that house. Because dinner there sucks. Not only do they not heat their house, but there is fuck all to eat there. Just this bland, tasteless white meat and vegan food. Ugh. Usually we manage to get out in the afternoon to avoid this crap. But on the off chance we don't, like when our flight is pushed back or if the flight we wanted is full, then we stay over for dinner. And I don't usually eat anything, and I usually say, I'm really not hungry now, but thank you. And I would make my own dinner when we get home. Thankfully this year we aren't staying for dinner. And on that note, I have an announcement I want to make. You remember how I said we go to Florida for the New Year? That's something we do every year. That's a good tradition in my book. And with that said, I'm not going to be making any videos for about a week. I'm not going to have the time or privacy to film a video as I'll be too busy meeting up with family and having a nice vacation. I got a big video planned for when I get back in January that I'll work on the script for if I have time, but until then, don't expect any videos from me for the rest of this month. New Year's Day is when we have our flight back to Boston, and straight from there I'm going to be driving back to New York for my college's winter section, which I'm doing mainly so I can be close to my band, so I'll be back in my room there when I get to film in my next video. But until then, I hope you guys all have a very Merry Christmas and a very Happy New Year. This is a great first year doing this channel. I've had a lot of fun making videos for you guys, and I hope to make many more in 2014. I'm sorry if I bummed you guys out with this video, but I figured it would be interesting to see a different perspective on Christmas than what you typically hear about from the media. Regardless, I hope you guys have a much more merry and entertaining holiday than I'll be having. Even if you don't celebrate Christmas, I hope you have fun doing whatever it is you do on the holiday. So Merry Christmas to all my viewers and subscribers, and thank you for a great first year. I'm Shades, and I'll see you next year.